You know, the idea for this 2 days is to try and get as much out of it as possible. Taking your own time, not pushing yourself. I like to treat it step by step, so start at very basic. That's important. My background, I've done a lot of trials in the past, so lots of trials riding. You know, it involves clutch control, throttle control and balance. That's something we really want to work on today to make your riding more enjoyable out in the woods, in the trails, more confident on the bike. That's really important. A lot of the things that we will be doing today, we'll be just in this grassy field in the morning. Tight turns, balance control. We won't be going out of first gear basically at the start. There's going to be a mix of rider levels, so it doesn't matter what rider level you are. If you're a beginner or you're pretty experienced, it's not going to matter. So we've got Andy here who's organised it all, so thank you for that. You know, it's really good to have. So thanks for that. It's awesome. So he's going to be helping out throughout the day because it is quite a big group. So you know, over the years of riding, I've learnt a few little tricks and tips. So it'd be great for me to try and share my experiences with you guys and some things for you to practice when you go home. I think that's important. Try and inspire, make your riding a little bit more creative and fun. So basically with your riding, your dirt bikes, all these bikes here are more than capable. It's just knowing to have the right setup that's comfortable. So bike setup is pretty important. Like having a comfortable bike setup is huge. Little things make a big difference in your riding. Tire pressures, lever positions, bar positioning makes a massive difference, because in off-road riding, as you know, in the woods there, we got so much different terrain. We have tree logs, we got creek sections. So what we want to do is know when we come across these sections, what to do, whether we sit, stand, react with our body. That's a big thing we want to, so that's why we're going to focus on all the techniques here before we even go out there. That's important. So from my experiences, the little things help from your lever positioning. Because we're standing on the bike so much, we want to be able to get to those controls really easily. So there'll be a lot of clutch control today. So really you want to be able to get to that clutch and front brake. So what I find with my clutch setup, sometimes when we're going down steep hills, you want to be able to get to that front brake and clutch. So if you imagine, if I'm stretched out on the bike, my arm is pretty straight. Sometimes I'm really far back like that, but I can get to the controls. My hand doesn't have to reach down like this to grab that front brake or clutch, because if they're too far down, it creates too much fatigue in your hands and you can't get to that control and you don't feel very comfortable. So the next thing is you don't want them too high up, because quite often you see levers really high and that creates a lot of fatigue in your arms, especially when you're standing on the front. Bar positioning is another huge factor with your riding. The further you roll them forward, the more twitchier it is. You might be nice turn here, but on those fast open sections, I don't know if anybody's had those head shakes before. It's a horrible feeling, you know, you're hitting little bumps. So generally I like to run it in line with the front suspension. So as you can see, that the line of the handlebars is going directly down the forks. That means no matter what position I'm in, that suspension's working evenly. If you have your bars too close to your lap, so you're rolling them back, it's okay if you're sitting down like motocross, but we're standing up a lot, so you know it's not going to be so comfortable. So it's entirely up to you if you want to ride whatever you like, but I find running them pretty neutral helps. Some riders like to run bar risers, you know, and I'm not saying take them off or anything, it's just do what you want to make your riding comfortable. You know, it's all about having fun on your dirt bike. So the next thing is probably going from there is your rear brake because today I'd love to try and get you guys to be able to control that rear brake, whether it's in a little wheelie to hit that rear brake and bring the front wheel down, because the rear brake is so important in your off-road riding. So what I find, with your rear brake, you want to have it pretty level with that foot peg. So if I put a plank of wood across there, it's even. That means that engagement point on that rear brake is very early. So if it's too far down, and if I'm in a 12 o'clock wheelie, there's only so far my foot can plantarflex. So that's really what that bite point, super touchy on that rear brake. So we've all had those moments where the front wheel comes up and shit, end up on our asses. So you want to be comfortable with that rear brake.